it's Rachel. Welcome to another video. Today we are doing a pick a crystal video where I show you 3 different crystals. First I show you them covered up, then I show you them uncovered. You can pick on either of those screens which one that you are drawn to, because our subconscious knows what we need so much of the time when we don't even know it. I've seen it happen a million times. It's very valuable to be able to let your intuition pick a crystal and then see how it works for you. And when you see that you picked something that is so good for you, it gives you this feeling that I can't explain. Like you have this power to heal your life that is just so incredibly empowering. I don't know. I think it's really important to be able to listen to your own intuition. If you do want to use my intuition, I do have a listing on Fiverr that I will link below for you where I pick a crystal for you that I feel like you need. And I tell you what I think you need and give you a little rundown on like why, kind of. It's just a few sentences, but everyone that has done it has really liked it. So if you want to listen to my intuition, there is a link down there for you. But here are the crystals. If you would like to pick without seeing the crystals. If you would like to pick a crystal while seeing the crystals, go to the second timestamp, pick your crystal, and then we will talk about them. Now, after you pick a crystal, we are going to talk about them. And there's a few choices here on how to work with that crystal energy. If you have that crystal or want to get that crystal, that's great. Just carrying it around in your pocket, sleeping with it, or meditating with it are great ways to connect with the energy of that crystal. If you don't want to get that crystal, I also go into the energy of that crystal and different things that you could do at home without having any other tools that could help you kind of like get into that energy and balance out whatever it is inside of yourself that your intuition feels like it needs that crystal for. Okay, if you picked the first pile, you picked Caribbean calcite. Now this crystal, when I pick it up, it gives me the feeling of deep emotions. I feel it kind of like right here, and it feels like water moving around. It immediately takes me into a space where I feel like I'm floating, which I think is a very calming sensation. It is supposed to open, activate, and heal your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, but also the blueness is really good for your throat chakra. It is a type of calcite and it is blue, but it's not the same as blue calcite. However, they are both good for restful sleep and lucid dreaming, so that's definitely something that you can use this for. Also think about that because it is helping your crown chakra and your third eye chakra. That is all very connected to like the lucid dreaming things and any kind of like psychic ability. Most of it comes through right there. And I feel like physically just holding this, you know, I can't get away from like the calmness that I'm feeling. Like I said, I was kind of floating on water and that's not going away. So I feel like it brings you into a place of calmness from that, but also it is supposed to help you release kind of like negative blocks in your mind. So think about it that way. Every time you release a negative block in your mind, you get a little bit lighter, you get a little bit calmer. So through it kind of like healing those things in you, it's also making you feel that. Like it doesn't just make you feel like that, but it also helps fix you physically so that you feel more of that naturally. And when I say they fix us, first of all, there's nothing wrong with any of us. Love yourself just as you are. But you can also look at things in your life and say, I could make this even better than it is. Or this doesn't feel the best it could feel. Like that's how I try to look at it. Just recently I've tried to make this shift in my mind because I am always trying to fix myself. I accept myself as I am. I think that's a very important place to get to. I'll let you know when I get there. So if you don't want to go get a piece of Caribbean calcite, you certainly could just use blue calcite. This has blue calcite in it. But I also feel like if you can go to a body of water, that would be so helpful. Like, you don't have to get in it. If you can drive to a body of water and even sit in your car with the heater on and just look at the body of water and try to take that energy in, or put on one of those YouTube meditations that has like the Hertz music in the background. Find one of those that has water in it. Waterfall, ocean waves, something like that. The next time it rains, try to meditate while looking or hearing the rain. I just feel like being around the energy of water, whether or not you're physically there or watching it and tuning into it. Ooh, take a bath, take a shower, definitely get in the water. Like, just definitely get in the water, however you need to do that. Even if you can just like soak your feet in a hot bath with like some Epsom salts and some flower petals, something about this is just giving me pure, you need water. Did you know that getting into a bath full of salt water is one of the quickest ways to manage your emotions? I know that because I have to do that multiple times a week sometimes. Highly recommend using water. And as far as like substitutions for this, again, you can use blue calcite. I would say if you want to, try to sleep with any blue crystal under your pillow would be helpful. And then I also feel like meditating with a quartz crystal on your third eye or holding it and kind of like throwing your attention towards your third eye. I feel like both of those things could give you little bits and pieces of what this energy would try to bring to you. All right, if you picked the second crystal, it is a piece of smoky quartz. Even though smoky quartz is such a common crystal, I feel like a lot of the times I forget how magical it is. Sitting here holding this up and like, because the light is back there, I'm kind of seeing through parts of it and I'm just like lost in the beauty of this crystal. Smoky quartz has so much magic in it, you guys, because it's very like grounding and protective and all of that stuff, but it's also very good for the mind. I find that when I'm doing something with a high vibrational crystal and I need to ground the energy a little bit, because sometimes when you're up in this space and you get some information, it's very hard to remember it after you get out of that space. If you're up here and you get this information and you have a smoky quartz, it helps take all of that high vibrational stuff and put it in a place somehow that I can hold on to it when I get back to earth. But it does it in a way that doesn't like pull me down the same way that I feel like a black tourmaline would. It lets me live up here still, but it's like it throws me a rope so that I still have a little bit of groundedness and I can still find my way home while I'm holding this big bag of information. That's how I feel about smoky quartz. One of my favorite grounding stones. So if you picked this stone, maybe you need a little bit of grounding. Grounding is very easy to do. I do have a whole video on it I will link for you, but simple, put your feet on the earth, hug a tree, hold hands with a plant. Yeah. Or get a grounding crystal. Smoky quartz, all the jaspers, and most of the black stones are going to be very grounding. Black tourmaline, hematite is very grounding. But this isn't just about grounding. This is about finding all the cool mystical stuff while being grounded. I feel like smoky quartz is like the scientific documentary that sits right beside the conspiracy theory video, and they're both saying the same things, but this one's saying it in a scientific way. I feel like you're kind of in the search for something new, like a new mystery, a new rabbit hole to fall down. Smoky quartz is a great energy to meditate with. For me, at least, it gives me this sense of like quiet. I feel my shoulders drop, but then I hear all of this like, not high pitched, but almost like static in the air. It's like I can feel and hear the air even more than usual. It's like, I don't know, I just feel like if you picked this pile, you're looking for some kind of adventure, like the adventure. Maybe you need some like slight change in your life. So if you want this energy and you don't have a piece of smoky quartz or want to get a piece of smoky quartz, just do something different this week. Like, can you take a new route to work? If you eat the same thing for breakfast every day, can you eat something different for breakfast a couple of days this week? If you usually sleep on one side of the bed, could you sleep on the other side of the bed? Just try to change something this week. The slightest shift sometimes can make us think of something. And I just feel like something. Also, on another note, clean and organize something, whether it's your closet or just a junk drawer or like the pantry. Organize one thing in your environment also. I feel like that would be a great way to bring this energy, the energy that you're kind of like craving, into your life. But also, if you do have a smoky quartz, carry it around, sleep with it, meditate with it. Oh, it's a good one. If you picked the third crystal, it is a rose quartz pyramid. Happiness! Look how happy I am just picking this up. I personally, in the past month, have been so drawn to rose quartz. I don't know if you guys know, but I do videos every single month of what my favorite crystals were the last month. And then I look at what I went through the last month and kind of like see if there's patterns, and there always are. I've loved rose quartz this month. And when people look at rose quartz, they immediately think of love, right? And it is very much a stone of love. Having rose quartz around you can definitely improve your love life. It can help you with self-love. It can just help you have like loving thoughts around you. If you're not having super loving thoughts about yourself, the rose quartz will help you get there. It's very calming and soothing to have around. The vibration is great for the heart chakra. If your feelings have been a little bit hurt, if you're feeling a little bit down, I feel like this is such an inspirational, like, good feeling friend coming through, kind of like trying to lift you out. Like if you're in your bed depressed, this is the friend that comes in and like gently opens the curtains and brings you a Starbucks or something. Like, they want to help you, but they're not going to be violent about it. It's going to be calming and soothing, even as they're like pulling you out of somewhere that you don't really want to leave. Not only is rose quartz good for the conventional types of love that you think about, but it's for all types of love. So it can be love for your community, for your neighbors, for the world, for the universe. It's this all-encompassing feeling. And love is the only thing that you can give out as much as you want and you won't run out of it. Like if you're using your life force energy and trying to like heal people and send that energy to people, you are eventually going to deplete yourself. If you can imagine your heart chakra opening like this, imagine a beam of love coming out of it, and you can picture that as like a light, you can picture it as little hearts floating out, you can picture it as a rainbow beam. If you can picture that opening, go throughout the day and just like pulsate out this feeling from your heart chakra of love, right? I've done this so many times and I can't tell you how good it feels. You can send it to trees, you can send it to anyone in your path, you can just sit in your backyard, send it up into the air, and then imagine it raining down little hearts, and every time they hit somebody, it makes somebody smile. Just having that all-encompassing feeling of love around you for as long as you can do it during the day, usually the more you do that, the better and better you feel, because it feeds you back. When you send love out, it just feeds you back. And also, if you're changing the vibration of your environment, then the whole world starts to feel better. I know that's a little bit of a stretch, but it's also not. Like, you are so much more powerful than you know, and you just have to believe in yourself and just try it. It's not gonna hurt anything. And it only takes a few minutes. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you can do it during a commercial break. little things you can do throughout the day can create such a big change in your life. If you're feeling like depressed and hopeless and everything else, you don't have to change everything all at once. If you can do one small thing, usually if it's something that you can like later notice, like if you clean up one small thing, if you cook something healthy and eat it, do one small thing. It is one step out. When I'm talking about this, if this feels very strange and weird to you, I really recommend getting a piece of rose quartz. It's one of the crystals that's very inexpensive and that you can find pretty much anywhere. Having rose quartz around your heart chakra a lot actually helps you connect with and get into your heart more, especially if you haven't experienced a lot of the type of love that your heart kind of like needs to develop. If you had a childhood where you didn't feel loved, if you don't feel seen a lot or heard a lot, you may need to kind of like strengthen and reconnect with this part of you, and just having a rose quartz there can really help you so much. Wearing it on a necklace every day, keeping it right there is so good. You can keep one beside your bed and put it on your heart at night when you lay down, whenever you think about it. You can take a bath and put rose quartz in the bath with you. It's my favorite crystal to put in the bathtub, and then the vibrations are just like in the water surrounding you. It can really help strengthen this part of you if you feel like that's something that just feels so strange and like you have nothing to give there. This can help you strengthen that part of you. If you don't want to use crystals at all, get some energy in your hands. You can create energy in your hands. Touch the ground. Try to visualize or even ask the earth, may I please have some healing energy? Imagine the energy going into your hands, which should now be like tingling and vibrating. And put your hands on your heart and just let those vibrations soothe your body. If you don't feel anything, it's fine. You don't have to feel it. That doesn't mean it's not working. It doesn't mean that you can't do this. Or keep one hand on the ground. Imagine the energy coming off of the ground and then going through into this hand. And you're just giving it support and energy. That's another way to do that if you don't have crystals or want to use crystals at all to help support your heart center. Also, affirmations can help you get into your heart center and love yourself more. And maybe even touch your heart when you're doing this. As I'm saying this to you, I can't even take this off, which means I feel like you should put your hand here as you're doing self-love affirmations. I love myself. I am enough. I am perfect just as I am. I am worth love and respect. I am worth it. I love myself. I accept myself, etc., etc. Try that with your hand on your heart. I think that could be so helpful for your heart center also. All right, guys, I hope you really enjoyed that. I would love to hear down below which crystal you picked. I am so curious about these videos, if everyone picks one or another, or if it's completely spread out. I would love to know. And I just want to thank you so much for being here. I love each and every one of you, and I hope you have such a fantastic day. I'll see you all next time.